Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the FCS Football Channel. And today we are back with another watch along today for Manchester United versus Omonia in the Europa League. So obviously it's a big game for Manchester United. We've got to win it. You're looking at our Champions League group. It's close. Manchester United need to get #1 spot in this Champions League group to ensure that we do avoid the teams dropping down from the Champions League. So that's the likes of Barcelona. Atletico Madrid might be dropping down as well. Juventus. So big job for Manchester United today. If we go over here, you can see the current state of the group. We are obviously on 6 points, having beat Sheriff and Omonia. We'll have to beat Omonia and Sheriff again before we play Sociedad, where we'll of course also have to beat them by 2 goals if we want to top the group, which is more than possible, and we're more than capable of doing that. But whether or not we will do it or not is something we'll have to obviously wait and find out. And, I mean, if we go over to the Champions League groups, if you give me a second while I get them up. We'll go over there. And you can see the current state of the Champions League. So, Ajax, they are out of the Champions League. I think. They're more or less, aren't they? They'd have to beat Liverpool and, I believe, Rangers, which I don't think they're going to do. So, Ajax are out. Atletico Madrid are very, very close to being out. Barcelona are essentially out. Group D still up for play. Milan still up to play. Shakhtar still up to play. And Sevilla are essentially out. Juventus essentially out. So, essentially, what we're saying and what we're seeing here is a whole host of top, well, or at least historically top Champions League teams potentially coming down into the Europa League. And we need to avoid those teams at all costs, really. We want to play those at the end of come the end of the season, near the end of the season, when potentially our season's over in the Premier League, and we can then focus solely on the Europa League. Whereas those clubs might be having to fight for something still. We might have already secured 4th, and chances are we're not going to be in a Premier League battle, so we can focus on the Europa. Whereas a team like Juventus, they could be fighting for European football still, let alone Champions League or well, they're not going to be fighting for a league title, are they? So United need to make sure we stay away from those Champions League clubs. And we do that by beating Omonia tonight. We do that by then going to Sheriff and we beat them as well. And then against Sociedad in the last day of the group, we beat them. Simple as that. It really is as simple as that. I don't know how to make it much easier. How to make it sound much easier to you guys. But, oh, we don't have a subs bench. Sorry about that, guys. Right, there's the subs. So, The Manchester United team for today. So in goal it is David De Gea, Diego Dalot, Victor Lindelof, Lisandro Martinez and Tyrell Malacia make up the back four, with Casemiro starting alongside his Brazilian compatriot Fred. Anthony, their fellow Brazilian, starts out on the right with Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford making up the front three behind Cristiano Ronaldo, who leads the line for Manchester United in Anthony Martial's absence. Now on the bench is obviously a large sub-bench due to the Europa League. The sub-bench is Martin Dubravka, Tom Heaton, Rafael Varane, Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay, Zidane Iqbal, Christian Eriksen, Palestri, Garnacho, Alanga and Jadon Sancho. Now I don't know what the stream's like because it's telling me that it's a bit dodgy on my end. So let me double check to see if it's alright. It's not too bad. It looks alright. Sorry about the coughing. I am not very well. I wasn't sure whether to do the stream today or not, but thought I'd power through it for the boys. And we're here. So I mean, what does people make of the game? I mean, I'm confident Manchester United will get this over the line. And I'll be surprised if most of you guys aren't as well. Omonia, realistically, they are the whipping boys of this group. Yet to pick up a single point this campaign. Do I see that changing? Not really, given that how Sheriff easily put them to bed. Was it 3-0? And Sheriff weren't great. United will win. I don't see a world in which we don't. If we don't, then we don't deserve to even qualify for the next round of the Europa League, let alone in first place, which will would be impossible should Sociedad do what we expect Sociedad will do and beat Sheriff tonight in their game. That being said, we have a score prediction. Obviously, we do. We will write them down. So anyone who does have a score prediction, please let me know in chat, and we can start getting predictions written down. And we can add them to the ticker. Let me just load it up. I'm going to go 4-0 United. I think, look, you look at that team, more or less a starting lineup. First team, best 11, more or less. Obviously, you bring in probably a Varane for a Lindelof. I would argue Shaw for Malacia, Eriksen in for Fred. And then, more or less, that's your best lineup, isn't it? It's certainly good enough to put this Omonia team to the sword, especially at Old Trafford. What you have, 75,000 home fans cheering you on, screaming your name. There's no excuses not to be putting to bed a team like Omonia, who for me, League One quality. Like, we're not talking high up in the Football League here. So let's put them to the sword. Let's put this game to bed early. Hopefully we can see a bit of Zidane Iqbal tonight. Should we get a lead early on. But like I said, I expect Man United to win this game. And I've gone 4-0. Like I said, please do get your predictions into the live chat and we can get them written down. If you are correct, you do get a pinned comment. And we haven't had a correct prediction for a while, so it would be a nice change to see one tonight. especially if it is for a Manchester United win, and a high Manchester United win at that. For those of you who know Omonia players, we will go through their team. So for Omonia tonight, it is Uzodo, Matthews, Lang, Miltetic, Just, Kitalos, Charamalous, Kamasa, Panalutu, B.F, and Takatulis. As you can tell, I am very good with Cyprian names. I have smashed that. So we have got about 15 minutes until kickoff. I mean, I'm hoping for a good game, and I think like I said, it's gonna be a good game. Essentially a full strength team against a side that we should be comfortably beaten. If we're being completely honest, again in a game that is a must win, in a game in front of the home crowd. I believe we haven't had a home game for a while either. Manchester United's last home game was that Sociedad game, actually. Manchester United's last home game was Real Sociedad in the first game of the group stage. We're in match day 4 now. We had Leeds called off, which was away. Which was home, sorry. And to be fair, that was it. So, it's time to put back revenge. Sort out what was a horrific performance. Well, not even a bad performance. A bad result at Old Trafford against Sociedad. Put it right and get the win today. I hope you're all good. I still feel crap, mate. Not done a stream all week. Are you free on Tuesday at 7:30? I should be. I'm not. I can't say for 100%. I should be, I think. I'll let you know. What I'd say is I'll say yes, but I'll let you know if something comes up or if I can't. But put me down as a yes. So the players are going back in after the pre-match warm-up, so kick off soon. I'm actually minded to find out for definite. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. You excited for the game, lad? You have a prediction as well? I think it's going to be a 3-0 win. Lovely stuff, that. I love that from you. There you go. So obviously in the early kickoffs in the Europa League, we can quickly run through those games before we get into this one. Looking forward to seeing Fred and Casemiro in there. Yeah, obviously they start for Brazil together, so they can't be that bad as a combination. Hopefully, they do the business today, because certainly need them to. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we can't rely on Christian Eriksen being fit all season to play that role next to Casemiro. So we need someone like a Fred who is fit, is in form. You know, to take some minutes as well. Lindelof was great, has been great recently, so I'm really happy to see him staying in the team as well. I'm happy with the lineup, like I say. So in the other games in the Europa League, quickly, We have got Fenerbahce beating Larnaca 2-1. Arsenal beat Bodo Glimt 1-0. Freiburg beat Nantes by 4-0. Feyenoord and Midtjylland ended 2-2. Rennes beat Dynamo Kiev by 1-0. Karabag Olympiacos finished 0-0. Union St. Gilles and Braga drew 3-3. And Roma Betis was a 1-1 draw. So that obviously leaves all the groups in this state. So in Group A, Arsenal sit top with 3 from 3. PSV are then second with 4 points. Bodo Glimt and Zurich round out the rest of the group. Bodo Glimt and PSV on the same amount of points. However, PSV has played a game less than everybody else. And Bodo Glimt has played a game extra. Fenerbahce leads Group B with Rennes in second, although they are on the same points. And I believe they're both already through. They are, so it's just about who can take that top spot. Then it's up to AEK, Larnac and Dynamo Kiev to fight for that Europa Conference League spot. Betis is top of Group C. Ludogorets, Roma and Helsinki essentially are second to third. Roma not in great shape at the moment. Played 4 games, only 4 points. Ludogorets have played a game less and are on the same points. Group D is looking pretty interesting. Union Berlin, who's been so good in the Bundesliga this year, sit in third, while Union St. Gilles are top and are through. No, not quite through. Union Berlin and Malmo. If Union Berlin were to win today, they can still qualify and finish top of the group. Obviously, our group, we've gone through it before. United need to win all of our games available to take first place. Real Sociedad need to do the same, essentially. And Sheriff and Omonia. I don't think they're going to get through, but they're going to fight for that Europa Conference League place, and I think Sheriff will probably get it. And then Feyenoord and Midtjylland and Lazio and Sturm Graz. Very close in Group F. It really could still go any way. A draw between Lazio and Sturm Graz today would put that group level on points going into the last 2 game weeks. That would be saucy. Freiburg are through Group G with 4 from 4. Karabag are close, but not quite there. Nate looking like they will go into the Europa Conference League, and Olympiacos will be out of Europe. And finally, again, it's all very close in Group H. Feveros and Monaco both sit on 6 points. Feveros got that better head-to-head record, leaving them above Monaco in the table. Trabzonspor and Red Star Belgrade both on 3 points. This group, again, still a lot to play for. It's very, very exciting. It's an exciting Europa League still, which is nice to see for once. So often we see come these sort of stages in groups, the most of the groups are already essentially finished, and we know what's going to happen. Whereas this year, for whatever reason, still fairly open, which is nice. Now we are about 5 or so minutes away from kickoff. So if you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And please do share the stream on with your friends, with your family, and on your socials, and help to grow this community. That would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, you can hear I am coughing a little bit. I am a bit ill. I have been for a while actually now. But I'm dedicated. So we're trying our best out here. We're trying our best. So please do excuse me if I cough a bit or have to go blow my nose or whatever it is. Or maybe you'd prefer that. I'm not sure. I'd be very surprised if you did prefer me blowing my nose. But yeah, like I said, we're about 5 or so minutes from kickoff. If you guys want to start getting your pre-match predictions into the chat, we can get those on the prediction ticker in the bottom corner. Little shout out for you. You could potentially win a free pinned comment. Not quite cash, but we're small scale here. A pinned comment is the best we can do. Of course, we will try and keep an eye out on some of the other games around Europe tonight, particularly the Real Sociedad versus Sheriff game, as well as the West Ham versus Anderlecht game, because I'm just interested in seeing how West Ham get on. Got a very, very sore throat. So the players are about to walk out. Bruno Fernandes, of course, leading the line as captain. De Gea follows. Then Dallo. Then, is it Lissandro or is it Lindelof? I'm not sure. Lissandro's so small, I don't know if I can't see him or not. It's Casemiro. Right. Just before kick-off, I'm quickly going to go refill my water. So I'm able to speak throughout this whole half. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Right, I'm back. So, to go through the lineups again. So, in goal, it's De Gea, Dallo, Lindelof, Martinez and Malacia make up the back four. Casemiro and Fred playing the double pivot with Anthony on the right. Bruno Fernandes at number 10. Marcus Rashford is on the left. And Cristiano Ronaldo is up top for Manchester United. For Omonia, if BT Sports want to load it up so I can read it. Instead, they're going to show a coin toss. For Omonia, it's Uzuho, Matthews, Lang, Litek, Eust and Kitos, making up a back five and goalkeeper. Karamapus, Kamasa, and Panayutu as a midfield three with Kakauli and Bruno up top for the visitors. Big game for both teams. 3 points needed for both. Which team will get it? We will find out in just a moment when we get kicked off here at Old Trafford. Of course, the best way to watch these watch-alongs is by syncing up your game time up with mine, which is down there. So when you see Cristiano Ronaldo make a pass, for example, I will also see it. Just so then I don't spoil anything for you guys don't spoil anything for me. If you don't want to sync up your game time with mine, that's absolutely fine. Please just don't then go ruin what's going on in the game by messaging it in chat before we've seen it. And now we are underway. Malacia, Alessandro Martinez. Bringing it forward and across to Dallo. Out to Anthony. Casemiro. Dallo. Lindelof. Out to Alessandro Martinez. United passing it around the back here. Very patient in our build-up. United gave it away, but Fred's picked it back up. Here is Casemiro. Dallo's very inverted, and he's found Anthony here. Casemiro. Dallo's now looking to make the overlap, but they're both trying to go into the same space. But Dallo has now got the ball through the overlap. Back to Anthony. Manchester United on the attack here. Fred, edge of the box. Shoots, blocked. Out for a corner for United. A minute into this game. United, patient build up there. Often we often see a team's kind of rugby style in a sense where you launch it forward, you launch it towards their goal, you then press them in. But instead, United try to pass it around, create an opening, and eventually, obviously, Fred's shot, creating the corner. We've gone short to Rashford, who goes for goal, and it's a good save by the goalkeeper. United early on, causing issues, and Marcus Rashford, we feel a bit unfortunate not to have put United 1-0 up already. It was a decent hit. Maybe not as good as it first looked. Not right in the corner, I don't think. But it's a good save by the keeper nonetheless. And it's out for another corner for United. Bruno Fernandes will this time deliver, but it's cleared at the front post. A poor corner from Bruno. But we've taken this throw in quickly into Dallo. In the box. Tries to drill it in. But Dallo has run it off for a goal kick. Not a bad start to this game. 2 minutes in. Manchester United 0. Omonia 0. But we're creating chances, which is the main thing. And United win the ball back in. No, Anthony's gone down. Not Anthony's gone down. A player's gone down after a tackle from Anthony. So free kick, Omonia. I mean, it is a free kick. It's not a yellow card. I think the referee knows that and he hasn't given one. Rightly so. Ball out wide to the right, to Amonia's left-hand side. Past Casemiro. Out wide now again. Casemiro this time wins the ball. And actually earns a throw-in. Very, very well played there from Casemiro. Who he might have got done the first time, but he got back and won the second and won the throw-in. Which is very, very good from the Brazilian midfielder. I think often we've seen, at times, potentially McTominay there lose the first tackle and either not then go and win the second ball or instead just go and foul him. So it's so refreshing to see Casemiro not kind of lose that complacency and say, look, I didn't do it first time, but second time, I'm going to make sure I do it properly. United, again, just being patient in our build-up play. Just trying to get Omonia to open up a little bit. Create spaces and gaps between this very defensive and deep, especially with the wing backs or full backs. 5-3-2. But you can see what it's all about. It's about protecting the central areas, forcing us wide, and then backing themselves to every time it does come central to beat us or to do enough to stop us. There's that wide hit for their fullback. Fred gives away a free kick. Rightly so. Rightly so. He just grabs hold of him. It is a free kick. No, you can't have any real complaints about that, Fred lad. Right decision. So it's a crossfield ball. Nice header. Lisandro Martinez, can you win it? Player's gone down injured. Neil Lennon looks furious. I'm not sure where the foul is here by Lisandro Martinez. To me, it looks like he kicks the ball away. But here's Lindelof anyway. We've got the ball. Out wide to Terrell Malacia. Fred's going to offer himself. No, he's not. I'm going to get it though. Lisandro Martinez across to Diogo Dalot. Anthony holding the width well here. Into Anthony. Looks to take on his man. It's good defending is that for a throw-in for Omonia. 6 minutes play. United obviously still the best chance of the game. Coming through Marcus Rashford. Although we could get something here. No, Fred, despite winning the tackle, could never really get it under. And Omonia now can break with their number 3. They go back into their 73. And it's back with their centre-back and they'll go long. They'll chip it forward. And Malacia, can he keep it on? He's playing a bit of keepy uppy with his head. But he did. And United get it away. And Rashford, nice ball out to Diogo Dalot. Slightly overhit. But Dalot does have it. Into Anthony. He looks to take on his man but wins a throw-in. Good play there by United still. Looking a bit... Look, we look fairly dangerous when we go forward, which is a positive sign. I would like to see a little bit more directness though from United. However, I do feel like that might come later on in the second half. As Lisandro Martinez goes out to Tyrell Malacia. Malacia into Fred. Rashford. Malacia. Fred. Just keeping the ball, knocking it around. Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo looking for a bit of space. Out to Diogo Dalot. He makes the run into the box. Dalot delivers with his left foot. No one competes for it. Slightly overhit. You question, could Rashford have gone for it and got something on it, maybe to direct it back in towards the box, even if that just meant the goalkeeper will come and claim it. We'll see it again here. This might be the better angle. No, he couldn't. The poor ball in from Diogo Dalot. However, United win it back here. Rashford starts it into Cristiano Ronaldo, who hits who fires into the side netting. Ronaldo really should be firing that across goal rather than at the front post. However, Bruno Fernandes was appealing for a free kick, and you could argue he has been fouled. Obviously, VAR can't pull back for free kicks, But Bruno Fernandes has been held back there. Oh. Lindelof. Casemiro. Out to Lisandro Martinez. He slips on it and gives it away. And here is a chance for Omonia. Lisandro Martinez comes through. Good tackle to win the ball back for United. And here is Bruno Fernandes into Dalot. At the halfway line now. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Just inside our own half. But Malacia crosses the line. Here it is. Tyrell Malacia breaking forward here. To Rashford. On the sideline. Rashford wants to run from Malacia. But he goes to the edge of the box with Fred. It's a poor first touch from Fred. But United keep the ball and keep it moving. Here is Tyrell Malacia. Malacia finds Rashford in the edge of the box. Takes a good first touch. Rashford shoots. Well blocked by Omonia. Good play there from Manchester United and Marcus Rashford. Score remains 0-0. But a good opening 10 minutes here for United. Marcus Rashford in particular looking dangerous. There's a corner here for United. We've got some tall lads in the box. Even Cristiano Ronaldo. Casemiro potentially. But we've gone short again. Bruno fires it across. Great ball from Bruno Fernandes. And it's almost criminal. Nobody's got a touch onto that. The slightest of touches from anybody. And it turns it in. Nothing the goalkeeper could do. Nothing the defenders could really do. It's an unbelievable ball in. Lindelof and Casemiro, there were two at the back post who were stretching for it. Just slightly too far off it. It's a great ball though from Bruno Fernandes. Whipped right into the danger area where, like I say, if a defender gets a touch onto it, he turns it in. If a striker does, or an attacker does, again, they turn it in. So, it's kind of a leave it and hope sort of moment as Diego Dalot completely chops down the Omonia forward. Really, really poor from Diego Dalot there. Casemiro is right there. There's just no need to do it. And he might go into the book here for a foul on Brown. Looks like he gets away with it. It's a corner. It's a free kick here for Omonia. 12 minutes played. Ball comes into the box. Bruno Fernandes clears over his own crossbar. Corner for United, for Omonia. Let's see how David De Gea deals with this. We know it's not the tallest of teams. We have some tall players. Casemiro, Ronaldo. But generally, Malacia, Lisandro Martinez, Fred. Small players. Not sure the height on Omonia. But with balls in like that, we'll be absolutely fine. Bruno Fernandes can easily clear it at the front post. And Anthony brings it down on the run, on the chase. Has it. Finds Bruno Fernandes. Can Bruno find the ball to Fred? Good interception from the Omonia centre-back. But United win it. Anthony into Bruno. Fires it across looking for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a poor ball though. Is that for a goal kick? Just no need by Bruno Fernandes to try and play it so quickly first time. It's that hero ball stuff again from Bruno Fernandes there. Anthony lays it off. Just take a touch, lad. Take a touch, run it down the byline. Let bodies get into the box. I'm not even sure if Ronaldo's onside. So even if Ronaldo does get on the end of it and score, which he doesn't count. Casemiro wins the first ball. United can't keep the second ball though. Here's Anthony. Lovely flick into Casemiro. Back to Anthony. Dalot. Cross to Lindelof. Goes into De Gea. Casemiro's offering himself. Good from De Gea there. Lisandro Martinez. United Again, trying to play through the lines. Lovely pass there from Lisandro Martinez. And it splits the Omonia midfield and press. Here is Diogo Dalot. We're just too slow. And once we've made that splitting pass, we're just too slow. And look at all the Omonia players back now in shape to defend. We need to know when to be a bit quicker there. When Fred receives that ball from Lisandro Martinez, that's when we need to turn the pace on and try and get it from back to front, as quickly as possible, but with quality. And I'm not just talking about a long ball like you might believe Sam Allardyce means when he says that sort of phrase, but I mean finding the right pass, having confidence in yourself to bring it forward. Obviously, these are all good footballers. They don't make it through the trials they do to become a professional, to obviously signing for Manchester United, breaking through their academies and such, if you're not good enough. So these are good enough players to drive with the ball. So let's see it. Here is Casemiro out to Diogo Dalot, who's doing a very good job inverted here, and he's made the underlap here, but Anthony has it, looks to put the cross in. Good defending from the bald centre half. Casemiro, can he win the ball back here? No, but Lindelof does. Fred gets it out wide to Tyrell Malacia, who gets it under control and brings it back and gives it into Victor Lindelof. 15 minutes played here. All square so far. However, if any team's looking likely, of course it is Manchester United. Lindelof goes over the top looking for Cristiano Ronaldo, slightly overhit. And out for a goal kick. So Real Sociedad and Sheriff game is still 0-0. As is West Ham game. No, West Ham game is 1-0 to West Ham with Anderlecht. Not Anderlecht. With Benrahma scoring against the Belgian side. Anderlecht is who they're playing, not who scored. Here is Lindelof across to Lisandro Martinez. Malacia. Casemiro. Malacia. Rashford. Looks to take on his man. Good tackle. Out for a throw-in for United. United, I think, just turn up at the intensity a little bit more. Get them moving about a little bit more. Pass with a bit of urgency, maybe. I just think at times United look a little bit lethargic, and we're happy to play the easy pass a little bit too often. Well, actually, it depends on the player, really. I think Bruno's far too often willing to play the killer ball, the difficult pass. And I think some players far too often are scared to play the killer pass. Which might be why Bruno does it so often, because he kind of makes up for the rest of the team not doing it. Here's Lindelof. Casemiro. Goes back to Lindelof. All United players, apart from De Gea, in the Omonia half here. So you can see how high we're playing. Here is Fred. Rashford staying high and wide. Looks for the ball inside to Bruno. I think it took a little bit of a deflection, but United regained the ball. Dalot out to Anthony on this right hand side. Dalot's then made the run on the outside, which dragged a man. Here's Casemiro, puts the ball into the box. Easily dealt with by Omonia. It was another poor ball into the box from a Manchester United player, this time Casemiro. And Omonia here on the break. Ball comes into the box. Lisandro Martinez is there, as he always seems to be. And United have the ball again. And we're looking to break here with Bruno Fernandes. Lovely from Bruno Fernandes. Still has it here, Bruno. Out to Cristiano Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes did brilliantly there. Here is Malacia. Can he get the cross in? Well blocked. And Omonia will bring it forward here. 19 minutes played, still 0-0. United would have been hoping for a goal by now. However, that's not the case. United just have to be patient. The goal will come eventually, surely. Good defending. Good defending there by Alessandro Martinez. Tracked the. I think was it a long throw? All the way and got the block in. I think it's a throw in here for Omonia. Neil Lennon shouting demands and instructions out at his team. I think Neil Lennon will be fairly happy with how his team have played in this first half. Obviously, you don't come to Old Trafford as Omonia and expect to win. You kind of take whatever you can get. And I think Omonia, look, they've showed a bit here and there. They've countered a couple times. I think the blueprint for them is kind of what we saw from them in Cyprus. You have to latch on to mistakes from Manchester United. I think if Man United, as long as we don't make those mistakes, we'll beat them. As Anthony has it here. Finds Casemiro on the edge. To Malacia. Malacia puts the ball into the box. United can't win the header. It's out for a goal kick. Malacia apologises. Bruno complains. I'm not quite sure what he's complaining about. There's a good ball in. Could Bruno have jumped for it? I think he probably could have. I think if Bruno jumps that, he probably wins it. And similar to what I said about Rashford, he might be able to flick it back across. It's Fred. Rashford. Malacia. Casemiro. Moves the ball out to Malacia. Malacia's just saying, calm down. We're alright. Martinez into Lindelof. As we break into the Omonia half. Out to Anthony on this right hand side. Dalot with a good underlap. Tries to get the cross in. Blocked. But Anthony has it back again. Showing that Brazilian flair. But goes back into Dalot at the end of the day. Back into Anthony. Looks for Bruno. But Bruno and Anthony. Just a bit of lack of communication there. As Bruno makes the run. Anthony makes the pass, but Ronaldo wins it back here. Bruno finds Rashford, and surely this is 1-0. It's a great save by the goalkeeper, but questions got to be asked of Marcus Rashford there. How has he not put Manchester United into a 1-goal lead? Huge chance there for Marcus Rashford. Really should score. Omonia having a bit of keep ball now. Probably for the first time in this game, where they've had a bit of kind of prolonged possession. Which I'm sure is nice for them. Here's Rashford. Goes down the line looking for Bruno. Well defended. Can United win it back? Again, the ball's just up in the air. Which team can get it down and play? That team is United here with Rashford. Lovely bit of skill from Rashford and wins a free kick. Very, very strong challenge. It's not being checked by VAR, which is a good thing. I thought it did look strong. Rashford, lovely turn. He just overplays it though. Get the ball into the box, man. Rashford does brilliantly. Sits down the defender. Should then get the cross into the back post where you got Cristiano Ronaldo making the run. And instead just cuts in and tries to find a shot himself. It's so greedy from Rashford. As Ronaldo shoots there himself. Again, greedy from the Portuguese international this time. Malacia into Dallo. Look, you can see how inverted these two fullbacks are. But he finds Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes shoots! And it looked like it was fine in the bottom corner, but it hits the advertising boards. And it's wide. 25 minutes in. United probing. Couple good opportunities, but it is still 0-0. Scores remain the same in the in both the West Ham and Real Sociedad game. As we expect, Real Sociedad dominating the game against Sheriff with what is a first team lineup for the Spanish side. So don't expect any upsets in that game. If I was you, I wouldn't be, at least. But if you guys are enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And please do share the stream with your friends, with your family, and on all your socials. That would be greatly appreciated and would help to grow this community. And even nicer, you get to see that ticker tick up, which is lovely. As Omonia have it on the attack here. Dallo with a good tackle though. And Casemiro will look to bring it away. Anthony, back to Casemiro. A bit more urgency, please, here, Casemiro. Into Malacia. Cuts back inside. Rashford's in a good place. Bit of space. But we elect not to play it to him. Here is Casemiro. You can see how congested that midfield area is. But Bruno Fernandes is finding himself in a bit of space. Between defenders, which is great to see. If someone can find him in there, he can cause a lot of issues. See Malacia there, almost walking into the box, but Fred just not quite having the technical ability to find him. And it's a poor pass from Rashford, which loses us momentum, loses us the ball, meaning we have to restart here with Lisandro Martinez back in our own half after a rush clearance from the Omonia defence. Here is Lisandro Martinez again. Into Malacia. Across to Lindelof. Ronaldo. You know, moving it well. Using it well as well. Bruno. The Fred. I don't like how high Fred is playing, to be fair. Fred is not a very good number 10. And I think he's finding himself in that sort of position far too often for my liking. Far too often. Realistically, he's a deep line 8. He's just, I don't think he can be a Manchester United player because that's Rashford. It's a good effort and it's a great save by the goalkeeper. Unbelievable effort by Marcus Rashford on the turn. Fired it to that back post. It might even take a deflection. The goalkeeper gets a strong hand to it. Turns it wide of the post. But that was headed for the side netting. That's a great effort from Marcus Rashford. But what I was saying is I don't think a team like Manchester United will ever play a system that requires a Fred. As the ball comes in. I think Fred is a perfect sit-in 8 alongside a Casemiro in a defensive team that looks to play on the counter-attack. That will sit with in kind of like a 4-4-2 in a sense. Whereas, obviously, we see from Manchester United, whether that's with Christian Eriksen or with Fred today, whoever plays next to Casemiro is required to get forward and at times play like an 8. And that's just not Fred's game. And I think Fred looks out of his depth when he does that. And to be fair, the same goes for for Tommy when he is instructed to do kind of the same thing. I think it is in a sense just kind of square pegs and round holes, which is kind of a necessity right now for Erik ten Hag, while he doesn't have his personnel. But you don't have a throw in here. Goes back into David De Gea. Oh, or to Tyrell Malacia. Sandro Martinez. Anthony takes it down really well, actually. Moves it out wide to Martinez. Anthony back to Lindelof. And West Ham have a second. Gerard Bowen has scored for the Hammers to make it West Ham 2, Anderlecht 0. And that surely sees West Ham through to the knockout round of the Europa Conference League. Hoping they can do one better than they did last year in the Europa League. Well, not just one better. Obviously, they want to get to the final. Not just the final this year. They want to win it. And I think, given their successes in the Europa League last year, I think their squad is overall better. And no offense to the Conference League, but I mean, I guess it's literally a fact. It's a weaker competition, so a stronger team in a weaker competition, you expect them to better what they did like the previous year. As Bruno Fernandes gets it back to Anthony. Casemiro. Dalot. Ronaldo. Turns, shoots, just wide. It might have been quite far wide, actually. But it is wide. Manchester United, again, probing. It's a good effort here. Ronaldo turns up from the edge of the box on his left foot. Tries to whip it into that far post. Never on target, really. He might have taken a deflection off of the centre-back. But the referee's given a goal kick. And can't argue with the referee either for that. Malacia, good interception. Bruno wins it. Gives it back into Malacia. To Fred, who finds himself very high. Bruno. Out to Malacia again. Finds Marcus Rashford, edge of the box. To Casemiro. Can he get the shot away? He does get the shot away. And he cannons off of the bar. What a hit from the Brazilian. Cannons off of the bar. And Omonia just about get it clear. But Lisandro Martinez keeps it alive. Bruno, he goes for goal this time. And maybe he should leave it to his old number 18, Casemiro, as he fires it over the bar. It's a really wasteful effort by Bruno Fernandes, really. I'm not sure if the goalkeeper gets a touch onto it or not. If he does, fair play. He does. And I think that touch is what pushes it onto the bar. So it's actually an unbelievable save by the goalkeeper to deny Casemiro his first goal in Manchester United colours. Here is Dalot. Chips it in to Tyrell Malacia. Malacia into Fred. Rashford. Into Bruno Fernandes. Bruno back to Rashford. Fred. Bruno. Lisandro Martinez. Out wide for Anthony. Cristiano Ronaldo dropping very deep here. Anthony. Up to Dalot. Ball comes into the box. It's a poor ball in. But can United win it up here? Up high on the pitch. Casemiro chasing down that ball and does win it. And wins a throw-in. Good play there by Casemiro. Fighting for that ball constantly. Really, really good to see so much urgency in Manchester United's defensive and pressing game, especially given the last few years how shocking and piss poor we have been in that side of our game. I don't think Eric Ten Hag will be too happy with the performance of Bruno Fernandes, though. I think we might end up seeing Christian Eriksen in this second half. I actually think. Sorry about this. Bring Jadon Sancho on at number 10. Sancho at number 10, I think works. Here is the number 22, sorry. Anthony chasing, try and win the ball back. Referee gives a throw into United. Looked like for a second there he might give a free kick to Omonia, but it has gone up for a throw in for United, which is good news. Dalot goes back in to Victor Lindelof, to Martinez, and United again looking to break forward here. Malacia, Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, across to Victor Lindelof. Dalot. A poor pass out wide looking for Anthony. But Dalot wins it back. Bit of mix up in communications there as Anthony assumes it's come off the Omonia player. Lets it go out of play only for it to be given as an Omonia throw. But from that throw, Casemiro intercepts it instantly. And United have the ball again. So no worries, no issues there. United have the ball. All rosy. Casemiro into Bruno Fernandes. Malacia has it. Out wide to Marcus Rashford. Rashford into Fred. Malacia. To Fred. Not to Fred, to Rashford. Malacia fires it across. Ronaldo with a flicked effort, but it's over the bar. It might have taken a deflection off of an Omonia player. We'll wait and find out. Malacia's gone down. He's holding his ankle. We'll see what's happened here. So Rashford was 1v1, gave it into Fred, who gave to Malacia. 1-2 with Rashford and Malacia. And the defender, sliding in, completely takes out Malacia. Penalty? Could this be a penalty? It would be harsh. However, if you look at our penalty that we gave away against Real Sociedad, that's more of a penalty. All I'm saying. What? The referee's just gone over to the goalkeeper and went, no. What? What's going on about? You were just about to take it and you're slowing down. De Gea out to Malacia. Malacia cuts back into Fred, who turns out Lindelof. Dalot's there and he uses him. Anthony Ronaldo's dropped in to a good area, but we go back into Lindelof. United just using the ball, trying to move him about a little bit. Omonia look fairly settled in this block. Trying to cut off all those lanes into the forward line through the centre of the pitch. Again, forcing United wide. You can see Bruno Fernandes moving wide so often as Fred and Anthony just run into each other. What is Fred doing? That's why I don't like Fred being in those sort of positions. I've said that and I'll continue to say it. Fred's not very good in those sort of areas. And he'll continue to prove that. At the end of the day, Fred is just not stylistically a player that long term has a place at Manchester United. When we get to the stage where we want to be dominating in every game, we're not scared of anybody. What role is Fred going to have? which is why I would like to see Zidane Iqbal today. I'm not mad because, like I said, we needed to see players like Fred get some first team minutes because simply Anthony can't play. However, as Fred heads over the bar, breaking forward into when Fred is playing in this and here, he's fine, he's great. Go for it, Fred. But when the team transitions into this, when Fred's in this area, he's just not very good. And realistically, while against the likes of Man City, potentially Arsenal, and like the big teams, we might want to play like this at times. 3 years down the line, we won't want to play like that. We might even start as that, but we will definitely want that player pushing forward. And I don't see Fred as being that guy to be able to do that. I think Zidane Iqbal deserves a chance. I mean, how he hasn't played a minute this season, despite how well he did in pre-season, shocks me so far, to be fair. Especially in a game like this. Like, we rotating more against Real Sociedad than we do against Omonia. It's bizarre. Bizarre. Here is Lindelof. Into Sandro Martinez. Look for Rashford. Good defending though. Can United win it back? United forcing him back, but it's a good ball out to the wing back. And they'll go long, looking for a ball over the top. Lindelof across really well. Wins the duel. Casemiro wins the loose ball. And here comes Man United. Referee playing the advantage, or saying to continue playing. Here is Anthony. Running at players. Gives it into Ronaldo. Back looking for Anthony. Not great, but Fred wins the ball. It bounces up. Omonia have it. And now they'll look to counter-attack. Here is Bruno up against up against Victor Lindelof. Great chance here for Omonia. And they've absolutely wasted a golden opportunity to go 1-0 up here at Old Trafford. Bruno has to play that ball across goal. There's a pass across goal open. Completely unmarked. Sandro Martinez won't get across quick enough. He would have been onside. He has to play that pass, and what a wasted opportunity that is for Omonia. And I said earlier, Omonia today, they have to do what they did against United in Cyprus. They have to defend well, and they have to exploit Manchester United's mistakes. That was one, and they didn't take it. Best chance of the game, you have to say, has gone to Omonia. 42 minutes in, Manchester United 0, Omonia 0. As Anthony has it, running at the fullback here. Cuts inside, Anthony. Looks for the pass, it's deflected up, and Malacia will just pick it up. Easy as you like. Into Fred, who loses it on the turn. Because he has no awareness of what's around him. Dallo with a mistake. De Gea's off his line. And that's great play from David De Gea. Finds Bruno Fernandes, who gives it away. Well, no, he doesn't. Malacia gets it out to Anthony. Fantastic play there from David De Gea. Off his high starting line, or starting position, sorry. And is screaming off his line. Comes in, not only gets the ball, plays a lovely pass into Bruno Fernandes as well. It's much, much better from David De Gea from a sweeping point of view. As United, we believe we won a corner, but it's actually a goal kick. Great play from De Gea and Alessandro Martinez. Martinez gives the forward a little shoulder challenge, and De Gea comes off his line and just takes it. Here's Rashford. Bruno, back to Rashford. Go on, give it to Malacia, Marcus. He doesn't, but he wins a free kick anyway. So, not too bad. Seconds away from half time here. Manchester United 0, Omonia 0. Surely we can find a goal in this first half. As Real Sociedad takes the lead at just before half time. Snorlo, the former Crystal Palace player, scores for Sociedad as that Casemiro directs the header wide from the free kick, which sees us going to half time at 0-0. Much better second half needed, especially now Sociedad have a lead. At half time, it's Manchester United 0, Omonia 0. So I think it's fair to say it's not going to plan. I think that's fair to say. United really, against Omonia, we should be winning this game. We should be dominating the game, which we are dominating it, to be fair. But not turning that dominance into goals, into into celebrations in the end, isn't it? And ultimately points on the board. If we look at the stats of this game so far, it has been, and it's clear it has been, total domination from Manchester United. 15 shots to 1, 4 on target to 0, 79% of the ball, 90% pass accuracy. We've been the better team. We just need to start creating a few more high quality chances, because I don't think we've had that many, really. I think Casemiro has been fantastic. But does that come as a surprise to anybody? Certainly doesn't me. And it's like I said, or have said for a while, at least. Eventually, while McTominay might have been playing well, eventually when you throw in Casemiro, he might start off not at his best, but he'll get to his best, and a Casemiro at his best is much better than a McTominay at his best. And I don't even think we're at Casemiro's best yet still. And I think he is playing very well, and he is proven to be such a key player for Manchester United this season. Right, I'm gonna go refill my water bottle, my glass again. Sorry, and I'll be right back in a mo.